Hello, my name is Lung Shaw. Welcome to Lung's Story. Today we're talking about Astro this new historical proof of contact to Disneyland rides. Thank you for coming. Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it. Just don't. Go. The Astro is a rocket spinner aerial carousel type attraction featured at 5 Disneyland-style parks and Walt Disney World resorts around the world, except for Tokyo Disneyland, where it was replaced by the Happy Ride with Baymax. Although each ride may have a slightly different name, all share the same experience of vehicles traveling through space, spinning around a central momentum. In most forms of the ride, the use of joystick or steering wheel buttons, etc., enables guests to adjust the height of their individual cars at will, usually within a range of number more than 10 to 15 feet. Before you start, I have something to say. If it were inquired that you're talking about this ride in terms of story and feeling, wouldn't there be story and feeling already implied in it? That's what we're talking about today. Oh, so you're saying that Astro Orbiters is something of an implied and implemented way of storytelling and evoking feeling? Yes, exactly, and that's what we're talking about today, so can you please? Okay, sure, no problem, no problem. I may be interrupting sometimes, and add my own take to this whole predicament as well. Predicament? Yeah, like the things you say and things you do, and I might just come in and make it, like, better. Okay, so you're gonna make it better. Okay, I'll deal with that. Well, now that we have that out of the way, yeah, I guess since we have that out of the way, we can talk about the Astro Orbiters as the ride in question. So, the thing about Astro Orbiters is it's like Dumbo, but different. Yeah, it's like Dumbo, but different. It still carries the way of the evoking of emotion. Yeah, but this time, it's different. Yes, exactly, it's different. But the storytelling technique is really there still. It's about rocket ships and space and aviation. It's bonkers. Yeah, it's bonkers indeed. And I have to say this to myself because every time I view this ride as a questionable state, it brings back the idea that the story's already implemented in it, making it so that it's already lost beyond guests. Guests of the park? Yes, exactly. Guests of the park. See, the thing is, when it comes down to story, it's there. It's just the story of your making it. The imagination you come with the story already hell-bent on being there. Okay, well, how is this possible if people are on the ride experiencing evoking feeling? Okay, get this. Star Wars, right? If you were in a bunch of Millennium Falcons going up and down, you would get story invoked with emotion. But your story would just be your own story, your own implemented story within the Millennium Falcon. Exactly. The thing about story is it's invoking by your own imagination. So what this does is it doesn't just go up and down. You could evoke any type of feeling and any type of emotion and any type of story you want on the ride. Yeah, I guess that's okay. But I think we should go deeper. What are the links and credits of all this? And how can we apply it to you? Yeah, how can we apply it to you and I? Right. Let's go into detail. Alright, so the thing is... whoa, I'm sorry. I was out of what happened? I freaked out. I'm freaking out right now. Wait. Linking the ride to let's go into detail. All right. So when you think about Astro Orbiters, there's links that come into play when talking about space and aeronautic aviation. You can't just make one story without the other, and you can't evoke your emotions coming through the ride if you didn't feel there was some sort of story attached to it. Right. And that being said, there's a lot of things that we can say about the details of the ride that gives us the ultimatum of what the power of story can do, even if it's something as small as a little nut job on the ride. And that was the very beautiful thing about everything that we talk about in this implemented surface of a ride. The surface is there, but the deepening of the surface is up to you. And with that being said, that same surface comes to imply about what it means to have implement a story in the ride. Exactly. And that being the way it is nonetheless important to talk about story in the ride of your doing. You tell the story. You tell the tale. You tell the story of being, and you tell the story of telling. No matter what, our imagination is soar. And with everything that we've got, it means something important. But here's the thing. What does this mean for you and I? The deepening things that comes with a ride full of imagination. How do we tell a story? How can we get imagination? Application, of course. So, what does this mean for you? Just like Buzz Lightyear, just like Dumbo, just like rides that don't have a clear story embedded in it, it's your job to tell the story. It's your imagination that makes you fly. It's just the imagination that could lack story even, but it's just the emotion that could carry you over within no story at all. And that's what that makes this ride beautiful. It's a story about space aviation. It's different from Dumbo in the fact that the story in itself tells a different kind of layout. But the thing is, when it comes to story, we keep things in secret. We keep things kind of to ourselves. Maybe that's the story, or maybe that's you telling the story. No matter what it is, you have the power, and you have the imagination. Just think about that imagination for a second. How could that apply to your own life and make your life better? Think we got an application? Let's continue forward, huh?